Uncion. How's it going? We got a special guest today, Micah Barbosa, that we know, man, God's lifting up this brother. We know that there's more to come, and we had a great chat. And I just wanted to say to everyone that follow my guy on Instagram, and he's coming out with some amazing stuff. Well, let's get to this podcast. All right, God bless you all. Here we are, Uncion, ready to bless everyone. And as we're always here, ready to bless everyone, we have my bro Micah here today.
What's up, family?
I don't know if you want to say something, man. Tell everyone hi.
Sure. What's up, everybody? I'm so excited to be on this podcast. Thank you to my bro Daniel for inviting me on here. I'm super excited. I don't really get to do these too much. I used to have my own podcast a little while ago, and I feel like, dude, you're inspiring me to get back to it, man. And like, it's like restarting the fire. You know what I mean? So I'm really excited about this. I'm excited to be on here today.
Yeah, I remember you guys would do it on YouTube, huh?
Yeah, I
That was
remember
cool.
I would do it. I did like two. I only did two episodes, like two with my uncles. But man, I'm excited, bro. I'm excited to be back on here. This is
Yeah,
really inspiring me.
that's awesome, man. That's awesome. Glory to God. And we're just here to bless everyone and to talk about God, but also talk about how God's using you, man. And
Yes, sir.
like I was saying in the beginning, you're an inspiration, man, to so many people. I'm gonna turn 30, like but like, dude, like you're
Yeah.
inspiring me, man. You're inspiring me because you're doing so many things. You're tearing it up for God, man, and it's just amazing seeing what you're doing through music and you know. Talking about that, I know you have an album out. You recently took it out,
hmm
Church Kid, man. I don't know if you could talk to us about that a little bit.
Sure. Um, Church Kid was that was a fun album to make. It was really, I think it was probably the biggest project I ever have done up to this point, you know, because I think I started working on it in, I think around like May of 2024, and then I released it in January of this year, 2025. So it
Mm.
was really a long time, a long time in the making, probably about more than like 8 months or something like that. But honestly, man, it was so fun to make. I think that album, it was really just like, how do I explain it? I think it's like it was really just me telling my story of how God has been good in my life, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And just trying to share that with other people. I think one of the things I've always wanted to do with my music is just encourage people, and hopefully tell stories and have lyrics that and melodies that, resonate with people and that stuff that people can relate to, and also just songs to talk about praise to God and stuff, because I think God also deserves the praise. I mean, he definitely does. So I think, yeah, I that one was really fun. That was like my first, well, all my music, I should probably say this, all my music that I made up to this point is by me, but I was able to get some more collaboration on this one with some really good friends of mine. And I thought that was really cool having different people jump on, and they were really cool. Each person who I asked my uncle Luke, and my dad, and my good friend JP. He hopped on. He was super generous to hop on my record. He was super chill about it. I was like, bro, let me get you on here, and I'll send you a little something, like not a little something, but like something nice. And he's like, bro, don't even worry about it, man. Like, I want to do this, and he was super cool about it. So yeah, man, God is
It's
good with
it's
that.
crazy how God puts everything together.
He does, man. It's really wild, honestly. Like, it's crazy how God just lets things fall into place, I think that album came out at the right time. I think it's not a coincidence that everything happened the way it did. So I'm really grateful to God for that.
So why the name Church Kid? If you don't
I
mind
think
me asking.
it just felt like it just felt right. I think I had a couple different um like album names. Like, I wanted my album to be, I think I was gonna call it Close to You, which was like the name of one of my singles.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, yeah.
Because a lot of the songs talk about like being closer to God, and like wanting to. One of my songs it just talks about how life with God is just better. It's just better than
Mm.
anything else. And another one of my songs is called More Than Life, which is it just talks about how we just how me personally, I just want to seek God more than anything, and God is just really beautiful. That's really what the song talks about. But I think the reason I named it Church Kid, I think it just felt right. I just wanted to have like a name that was like easy to remember, and I felt like it was just right in that time, because like I'm a church kid, and I think my music, it's like pop, but it also has like elements of like church music in it, CCM, maybe like a little
I,
bit of
I
gospel.
could feel that. I could feel that. I could feel that. it's crazy because like when I first read the name, I identified myself as like with it so much because well, I'm a church kid
Yeah.
too. You know, I grew up in
Yeah,
church.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I was that kid that like slept like in the benches, man, while my
Bro,
parents were
same,
praying
bro.
stuff.
That's
You
crazy.
know, yeah.
Yeah,
So
man.
it's just when I saw
Same.
it and I heard some of the, I was hearing it going through it, I was like, man, like this is seriously like a church kid album, man. Like
Yeah,
it's
man. It
so
literally is.
identifying, yeah, because you know, the song that I really identify myself a lot with is Praise You Over.
Yeah.
I really like that song. Like, I believe that one featured your dad, right? No, I'm not
Yes,
mistaken.
it
That
did. That
dude,
one did.
I love that one because you know it made me think. You know, I believe God speaks through music and he always speaks to us in a different way.
Yeah.
And the crazy part was like, as a church kid, sometimes people think like, oh, you know, he was in church, so
Yeah, yeah,
what
yeah.
problems would he have? You know, like
Exactly, bro.
he knows how to praise God and give him everything. Like always, doesn't matter. You know, he doesn't deal with
Yeah.
anything. But as a church kid, you deal with a lot of pressure, man.
You do, man.
As in pressure of like perfection, you could say, or sometimes
Yeah,
as
bro.
in like oh he should be like suited for any job to do at church. So I feel like as
Yeah.
a church kid, you live with that type of pressure, and sometimes you, as a human, you could get discouraged, but
Yeah.
you just gotta know you gotta praise him over and over and over and over again, man, because he's good. Like God's good, and
Yeah, man.
he's been there,
Yes, sir.
And
Yes, sir, he has.
people don't realize that you know, because I believe your dad's a pastor, man. So I think you fall into the category of a PK,
Hmm.
right? So like it's crazy because a
Yeah.
lot of people think when I have a conversations with like people think I'm a P when I was younger they would go like you're a PK. Oh man, you must be like like this guy told me straight up you must be really holy. I'm just like wait what? I
Yeah,
was
yeah,
like
yeah,
wait what's going on here, man? Like
yeah.
I'm like nah it's nothing about that.
Yeah.
Or he was like oh, you must be like, oh man, like, dude, like nothing probably like bothers you or it's interrupting you to like serve God. Like you must be. They kind of put you as perfect,
Yeah.
but it's like no, we all deal with our different
Yeah, they
types of
kind of put you like
struggles.
up on a pedestal.
Yeah, man. Oh, lost you. Oh, there you go.
Okay, I think we're
There you
good.
go. Cool, cool.
I was gonna say, like, to
Mhm.
add to that, I remember I had a similar experience. I was working at this place at like this warehouse one time, and one of my coworkers was like, "Bro, like, or like, yeah, one of them was like, bro, like, so you're like a pastor's kid, right?" And he's like, "You go to church." He's like, "You just have like you have like direct like phone call like access to God." I was like, yes, I was like, yes, but it's also like I explained to him, I was like, yeah, man, like I love God and I'm a Christian, but I don't do everything perfect sometimes, but I try my best to live my life according to God's word. And I just thought that was funny, bro, because that's so real, honestly.
It is because they think
Yeah,
like you're. My dad says this. They think we're super people. Like he tells me that they
yeah,
think we're super people. Like we got some
yeah,
divine connection, and it's crazy because it's just so funny. And like I remember years ago, I went through this slight like struggle. Like I was feeling like I guess you could say I was kind of fighting depression in a way. It was during
yeah,
COVID, and I was
yeah,
just like, oh, like I don't know what was going on, and then
yeah. It
I
was a hard
guess
time.
I guess with the expectation of people thinking, oh, he's strong. He's strong. He's a he's anointed.
Yeah,
Like he's the pastor's son. He has to be great. I never I felt
yeah,
like
man.
I didn't have that space to be vulnerable. And I'm like, hey, I'm a church kid,
Mm.
but like I still go with problems too. Like I go through things, but I feel like
Yeah,
people don't
man.
realize that, and
Yeah,
that's why your album spoke so much to me because it's telling this is what I feel. It's telling church people more likely like, hey, you know, we could feel a certain way, but like we got God. And I think that's the
yeah,
beautiful thing about the message you're
yeah,
giving.
man.
It's a
Praise God,
real
man.
cool
I feel the
thing,
same
man.
way, bro. It's like, yeah, bro. I feel grateful to God that was one of the messages I was able to share with the album. I just want to like let people know, like we're in church. Like I remember one of my songs lyrics is like you can grow up in church, but you can still,
Yes, yes,
that's
yes,
one of
yes.
the lyrics I had written. And I was like, that really like meant a lot to me when I wrote it down. I was like, man, but and then it also, also one of my songs talks about like wanting to grow more as a Christian for myself, because even as like as you're saying, like a pastor's kid, like maybe in the past we might have relied like more on like the faith of our parents, but I think I
Yeah.
just been feeling a lot in this season, like God, I want to get closer to you for myself, I
Yes,
want to
yes,
find
yes.
I want to find you in the little quiet moments, by myself, and I want to have this faith for myself. I'm grateful for everything that my parents have taught me, but I think the faith that my parents had and those before me had is like it was like a launching pad, just for me to go further. And I'm really grateful to God for that and grateful for all my mentors in my life. And I just want to, continue to serve God in the best way that I can, I would say.
Yeah, because if you think about it, like it's like when your parents have bought you everything that you've asked for, like you say, oh, this, that, but there's no better satisfaction when you earn the money and then you buy it yourself, you know? I was remembering when
Oh
like
yeah, totally.
when I was first working, I remember I finally got my paycheck and I'm like, oh, dude, I was like, so I started saving money up to get. At that time
Yeah.
was the Switch One, as they call it, right? The Switch One. So I remember I was like,
Bro.
yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah.
So I was like, all right, if I save
That's
enough
fire.
money, so I started like getting that. I'm like, dude, this is the first console I bought by myself. You know, it was crazy because I remember like my parents buying me
Yeah.
a GameCube, and then they bought me a Wii, and then after that, like when the Switch came out, I'm like, I did get this myself. It felt good. Like
Yeah.
I don't want to say I didn't take care of the stuff my parents gave
Yeah,
me,
man.
but I also like I took care of it
Yeah,
more
yeah.
because like I bought it,
It feels different when it's yours.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So I'm like what you're
Yeah, man,
saying.
totally.
Yeah. So what you're saying
Yes,
with
bro.
like faith, like when you get closer to God and feel those experiences like one on one, you treasure them more.
Yeah.
It's just crazy,
Yeah,
and then
man. I
you just
agree.
start growing, man.
I agree. Yes, sir, man. I think it's like I'm always wanting to chase the feeling of like being close to God and like find that secret place with him, It's like you said, like when it's yours, you want to take care of it.
Yeah.
You want to, treasure whatever that thing you have is. And I really want to treasure this faith and this walk that I have with God, man. And of course, it's not easy all the time, like like the Bible says that there will be trials and tribulations for us. But I'm really, really grateful to God that he keeps us, he keeps us safe and he keeps us healthy, man. He keeps us good.
Yeah, yeah, no, well, it's tough, but hey, like someone told me once, no pain, no gain, man.
Yes,
No
sir,
pain,
bro.
no gain. And it's part of like also I could say growing on your own as a Christian. That
Yeah.
you start experimenting certain stuff on your own that makes you stronger on your own with God.
Yeah,
You know,
man.
it's just it's
Definitely,
just
bro.
it's just a beautiful thing, man. And another question I had for you, man, is that like how do you find this calling of music, of singing? Like, how did you
Yeah.
find it?
Um, that's a good question. I think I remember I'll give you the long version. No, I'm just kidding. I remember I think I was 14, 13 at the time. But I'm about to be 21 this year, so probably like six,
Nice.
7 years ago. Um, I was just wanting to do something, I wanted to find, a good creative outlet for myself. I remember like before I got into music, I would like take a lot of pictures and stuff with
Oh,
like my dad's camera, and I would try to be like creative in that way, but I felt like I needed something more, even though that's not a bad thing. I think people who take, pictures and do photography is awesome. I just felt like that wasn't all the way it for me yet,
you knew something extra was there, huh?
So make sure it was there. So I was like, my dad, he just restarted Minstrels at that time. It was like 2018. And I was like, give this a shot. All my uncles, they're musicians and my uncles, they're in a band. So I was like, and my dad is a musician and producer. So I was like, let me give this a shot. Let me see what this is all about. So I remember I started at the piano school there, and my dad taught me about half of it. And I was, serious about it at first because at first it was just a hobby, and but what made me get more serious about it was the fact that we started a new English ministry at my church, and we needed a new pianist. So like at a certain point it became real, like it became real fast, you know. So I was like, okay, this is kind of serious now. Like this is not just like a me playing
Uh,
randomly anymore, you know. I was like, now my church needs a musician, and I was like, okay, shoot. Like of course like my dad can play, but you know, he also had to preach, so it was kind of a lot to play and, you know, preach for him at the same time. But so I was like, you know, let me step up, let me continue to grow. And I remember like my uncle Jared, he gave me a chance to be on the worship team and uh you know, just play. And at first, bro, I was terrible, bro. I was terrible,
come
bro. And and I remember like just a couple times feeling real embarrassed and being like, man, that was bad, bro. Like a couple of times I kind of wanted to quit, like in my ministry starting off playing piano. And I was like, bro, that was not good. You know, like you know, sometimes
I
like
feel
when
you. I feel you.
my uncle Phil, like he would like switch with me and I'd be like, oh man, like the fact they had to switch with me means like I was doing bad, bro.
Dude, at least it wasn't worse. Like, you know what they did to me?
What they do to
Um,
you, bro?
I was playing, and then the guy that was like leading, he started scooting me over for he could play in front of everyone. I was like, no. I was
That's
like,
crazy.
it's because we were playing this like I was getting used to playing for like progression with four chords. So and then
Yeah,
like I don't know why he told me you're gonna have to do a melody here, do whatever. So I was messing up, and then
yeah.
there was a mic here already. Like he started just scooting me. Like he scooped me. He started playing.
That's
He started singing. I was like,
crazy.
ah, the shame.
That's crazy, bro. That's next level.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. Yeah, but as you were saying, man, my bad.
No, you're good, bro. Yeah, I mean, no shade to my uncle or anything like that. He's awesome, but it was just funny. I was like, oh man, the fact that you had to jump on, and I was like, that means like I kind of sucked. You know what I mean? But it's okay, bro. I think honestly, like I told different people before, like I think you need to like suck a little bit and kind of be bad at first to have
Yeah,
that
yeah.
motivation to get better. You know, and and glory to God, I don't think I'm like the best or anything now, but I think I've definitely
Dude,
grown.
you're a beast.
Praise God, man.
Dude, you're a
And
beast.
it's like God has given me so many opportunities now, you know, because I think I put in a good amount of work to be at this point now, you know. And that's what I would say. If I had any advice to give to anybody, I would just say put in the work, you know, and just practice your instrument, you know, hone your craft, whatever that is, whatever that's,
Mhm.
you know, music, you know, building something or whatever it is that people do, whatever your interests are, I would say do it to the best of your ability, you know. And I think God will bless it, definitely.
Do you feel
And
like
give it to God too. Give it to God. That's a big one.
Amen, man. Amen.
Yeah.
Like, do you ever feel like what did you feel in the beginning like you're like, nah, you know what? This might not be for me in the middle of it when you were like learning?
I
Or
think so. I think what inspired me to keep going is I would always see people who are better than me, you know? Like whether that was like my dad or like my uncle Phil, or like just other keyboardists in general, you know, like around, you know, in my like in our general churches or just on social media. Like I remember like one of my piano like idols, I don't even want to say idols, but like heroes is like Jesus Molina, bro, and like
oh dude.
I would see him or like Corey Henry just shredding it, bro.
Oh,
And I would look be defeated because like they were so good. And I was like, bro, there's no way I could ever get there. But it's also like that was I also like it pushed me to want to be better, you know? And also seeing people in real life too, like I said, like my dad, my uncle, seeing them be beast and like just killing it for the Lord, it made me be like, okay, I could also succeed here on this level too, you know? So
yeah.
I just have to get better, you know, and I have to just practice and put in the work.
You know, I'll never forget this thing that you guys were sharing on minstrels, like really hit me hard, man. Like I was like, whoa. And I think Pastor Aaron asked the question. Like someone asked the question and he asked it for them. I guess you could say it like that, right? Yeah. And then
Yeah.
I think bro K or bro Matt, one of them answered the question, and I was like, "What?" And I guess this leads up to my question. Like
Yeah.
he asked this, "Why are apples so good?" Yeah, I will never.
Yeah.
Do you remember that? I don't know. You
I th
remember?
I think I do, yeah.
And I was like blown away because, like, dude, like
Yeah.
the minute, like, I tell this to my wife, like, the apostolic ministry is so blessed, man. They are such anointed people. Like it's
Yeah.
just I just see them play. They inspire me, man. Like Daniel Bernard. Have you seen that
Bro.
guy on drums? Like
That
he's
guy's
just
crazy,
crazy.
bro. He's
Yeah.
devious.
Oh my! Or there's this new guy. His name's Eric something. I forgot his last
Oh,
name.
Adiola, right?
Oh my! When
Yeah,
he's
bro, he's
praise
fire.
breaking, dude, I'm just like,
Bro.
what? And they're so
Yeah, dude.
inspirational.
Yes,
And
man.
have you ever felt like you kind of have to represent kind of in a way like you're playing when you started playing like, oh man, the community's great, you know?
Yeah, bro. I
Have you felt
definitely
that pressure?
I did feel that pressure. I think like it was a lot and in some ways it brought me down, but I think in other ways it brought me up too, because it made me want to be like, okay, like my peers are at this level and I want to at least be at the middle, like base level, where they're at. Like I don't want to keep that as my cap, but I want to at least get there. And I was like, okay, let me, practice whatever it is, chords, scales, production, making music. And I was like, I want to at least get myself to that level. And I think, like you're saying, I think having like peers or just people in the circles or in the community that are on that level, it just makes you want to get better. And yeah, I think yeah, that's what I would say. That's what I would say about that.
Yeah, right. Because I mean, like
Yeah,
me, like man, I know so many talented musicians, man, and it
yeah,
keeps me going. Like
yeah, bro.
I don't know if it's a standard I could say, or it's like I don't know how to put it, but I know there's a set goal that I have to
Yeah,
reach, and it just
yeah,
really pushes, man. Like you don't want to fall behind. And the cool thing, it's not because some people could think it's like, oh, you're just having like some type of envy to destroy someone, and it's not really that. I feel like
yeah.
it's
It's
like a
not.
motivation just to go, like it's
Yes,
fuel, you
bro.
know.
Yes, bro. Totally. Yeah, I
And
agree.
like, what do you like? What about but talking about first the we're talking about the piano, right? But like now, like what about with your like music stuff? Like, what did you feel in the beginning when you started knowing like, oh man, I'm writing music? Like,
Yeah. That's a good question, bro. I would say like I remember I would write like random songs like for myself sometimes. Like what I would do was I think what led up to me making like music was I would always post like little tracks on Instagram and stuff, like little music posts. And that really not inspired me. I think it made me realize that like, okay, I could do this. I could do it at this level. Let me try to bring it up more and more, little by little. Like I have this track, let me see if I can make a whole song. Like let me try writing my own song. Because I would do like little covers or like different stuff like that. But I was like, let me try something on my own. And so having that practice more and more, I was like, okay, this is kind of cool. Let me try to write lyrics and add melodies to this. I remember the first song I ever released called In Every Step. I remember I wrote it on my bed, like with like a guitar, and I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. So I did like a voice memo, and I was like, okay, this is kind of cool. Let me take this and throw it in I think I was using like a MacBook, and I was like, let me throw it in my MacBook and Logic and try to make something out of this. So I think I went through a couple different versions of my song too. I think I on that first song I think I had like three different versions or something like that. And I was like, I think I finally settled on one that I like. And I was like, okay, this is good. And I think with singing, I think I think, how do I even explain this? I think my singing voice has got like better over time. I think that's what it's like with anything. But I remember like even I think like as I listen back, like I think that was in 2023 when I released that first single. I was kind of like, bro, this is kind of cringe, like even like looking back on it now. But I think it was the right step to just put that out there, and then get like my music out there and it's always been a dream of mine to make music. So that was really cool, man. And I give God glory for that.
like when you because I like what you said. Like you had three different versions. Like, how do you choose between those three different versions? Like, what do you see that makes a song like? I guess I
Ready,
don't want to.
maybe?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I would say like I usually try to get like a second opinion from like people who are more experienced than me. Like for example, like my dad or like my uncle Matt, who's a producer. I would kind of show them like, hey, what do you think of this? Like kind of give me some constructive criticism. Like is there anything that you guys would fix right here? Or like, what do you think of my snare or my kick or whatever? And they'll tell me like, oh, this is great, but like I see this right here. This could really improve. And I'd be like, okay, sweet. So I would take that advice and go back to the drawing board and like keep adding more and more. And I think like choosing a version of your song or like getting it to a point where you love it it's really just that, just getting it to a point where you actually love it and you feel like it's complete and it's finished. And I think like one of the biggest things about making music is making sure that you like the music too, and like you're making it for other people, but you're also making it for yourself. Like I always tell people like I make music that I would like to listen to, or that I feel like I would like to listen to. So yeah, I think that's what I would say about
That
that.
makes sense. It's like when you're making like food, like you're making it for yourself, but you're also making it for your family type of deal. So
Yes,
it's
sir, man.
like
That's a good way to put
you
it.
have to be taste testing first, so you have to like it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir,
Yeah,
bro. I agree.
yeah. So and like what are your thought processes, your thought process when I guess we're talking about food, right? So like
Yeah.
when you're seasoning like the song, like what goes through your mind?
I think I'm just trying to like that's a good question. I think like when I'm making a song, I'm just trying to like fill up the space, like in a way that feels full and you know and being mindful of like the dynamics of a song, like okay, this part is supposed to come down, like this certain instrument is supposed to stick out more on different parts, like the drums are out on this part, because it's supposed to be like a breakdown or whatever. I think it's just really it's like hearing that space in your ear and feel like and hearing and thinking, okay, what can be filled up? What can I add to this, And I've also heard my dad say like you don't want to like let a song bake too much, because then it gets like
Mm,
overcooked, and it's like at some point it's like overcooked and it's I don't want to say it's not genuine, but it's not the same anymore, and it's not like as raw and as I think as good as it was before when you try to like do things too much. I think there's a certain point where you're like, okay, this is good. I think, you get a second opinion. Other people like this. And even if I feel like I'm a perfectionist, I think this is at a good point where people will enjoy it, and people will like it. And I think Michael Jackson said like, oh, you gotta let the song breathe or something like that. Like you don't want to overbake it too much. Like, you gotta
that
like,
that makes sense. Yeah,
yeah,
you wanted to, I've always told the musicians at my church, like, let the music breathe.
yeah,
Oh, I didn't know someone else actually said that.
yeah,
Yeah.
man.
Oh wow. Yeah. Yeah. That made sense.
Yeah. I think it's because like it's like with like you said with food, right? Like you can add like the right amount of seasoning. That if you add too much soy sauce to your rice or whatever, like bro, you're gonna end up with like soy sauce rice. You know what I mean? Like you might as well just throw the whole bottle on there, And it's like you gotta have just like the right amount of everything. And I think that's a sign of um I guess a mature producer, I guess. I'm not even saying like, oh, I'm a mature producer, but I think like you can even identify that in other people's music too. Like this guy could have done this, he could have added more, but he kept it like at a baseline that was like really, really simple and it punches hard and it sounds good. And he didn't like overcook this too much.
Have you ever found yourself like, I guess, over seasoning something, like kind of overcooking it at
Yes,
times?
bro. I would definitely say that happens. I don't want to say a lot, but it does happen. And sometimes I listen to my songs and I'm listening back. I'm like, man, okay, I think I really liked when I had like a more simple approach to this like song or whatever. And like I think when I try to like make it too much like somebody else or like try to add too much stuff to it. Sorry, my
Oh, good.
camera's like it's like I don't know where it's going. That's funny. Well, let's leave it there for now. But I feel like sometimes it's like let me get centered, my bad.
All
But
good. All
like
good.
it's like you can hear like in other people's music, like, okay, he didn't do too much. And you don't want to like I said, you don't want to add too many things, like too many like hands in the pot or whatever, or like even if you're working on it on your own or with other people, like I think you don't want to add too much to where it feels like, I guess, clustered, or like what's the other another word? Like I guess too much or like it doesn't feel it kind of feels out of place.
Like, what do you feel? What that saying, less is more.
Yes, bro.
Like,
Yes.
where do you see that to a certain like, where do you like? How could you describe that? Like, less is more. Because I know
Less is more,
some
yeah.
people, something like you have to add on more,
Yeah.
and they go like, "Oh, that's perfect. Don't add more." But
Yeah.
some people are like, "You added more. You have to take off less." Like, I think like there's probably I don't know explain it, like I guess like a center point to be saying less is more, or I don't know if I'm confused on that part, but
No,
how do
I
you
think
see it?
I think you're right on with that. I think less definitely is more in music, you know. It depends on the type of music you're making, but I
Right.
think ultimately less is more is the right way to go, you know. And you know, you could throw in little Easter eggs and stuff. I throw like little musical Easter eggs in there for musicians. Like I throw like, you know, little parts or lines and stuff. But I think I try to really adopt the less is more approach recently, you know. And sometimes I still struggle with that because it's like, bro, you want to like make the song as good as it can be. Like I want to add all the synths, all the, you know, three basses and like four lead lines, you know, but like at the end of the day, it's like you have a good melody, you have good chord progression, and like keep it, I don't want to keep it bare bones, but keep it like as tight and as simple as possible, you know, because bro, the simplest songs are the biggest songs, you know, like
Yeah.
it's all the four chord progression worship songs, you know, it's all like the four chord
Yeah.
pop songs, you know, and it's like it's not it's not the fact that it's complicated and complex that people gravitate, which makes people gravitate towards it. It's more like it's relatable, it's simple, and it's easy to sing. You know, it's easy to remember, and it's easy to play too, especially with church music. I think like I love gospel music, but it's like that's harder to play. So it's like hard. Sometimes it's harder for me to relate to that. You know, I'm not saying that the music is bad in any means. I think when I say relate to it, I mean like I'm able to play it, you know, because I love gospel music. And I think gospel music has influenced me a
Oh,
lot.
it's so good.
Yeah. But I would say like with CCM, I think one of the reasons CCM is such a big part of our, I guess like the culture of church now and like church music is because it's easily accessible, you know, and it's easy for people to play. It's easy for people to sing. It's easy for people to relate to. And I think it's cool to see people pushing the bounds of it to kind of incorporating like gospel in it as well.
It's because
But yeah,
what I think is like some of our churches, like it's like I have like this friend that man, he makes music, and he always thinks of, is this playable?
yes.
Like he thinks that because he's like, I could probably play so much. He's like that, but can not normal. Can the beginning musician at a beginning church be able to play this?
Yeah, bro.
You know, and then
Yes.
when things are so much more simple, I notice that it has so much more effect.
Yes,
It's
bro.
like Chris Tomlin's song that's it's been going crazy, man. Holy Forever.
Yes, bro.
Like I know like they're not complicated chord progressions, you know. They could change here
Yeah.
and there a bit, but they're not that complicated. And
Yeah.
I feel like someone starting now could, you know, practice it pretty quick, learn it. Lyrics
Learn it.
not that
Yeah.
hard either.
Yeah.
And I love how you hit that point because you want it to bless people.
Yes, bro.
So the easier it is to translate to others, um, you know, I feel like everyone could, you know, play it and speak it, you know.
Yes, bro. I agree. I definitely agree. 100% with that.
And it's just crazy because like the less is more thing I think could fall into depending, like you said, what genre of music you're playing.
Yeah.
Because I feel like, for example, me, like you're playing Lord You Are Good, right? You're like Israel song, bah, you're seeing everything go crazy, man, whatever. Like,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
that's their norm, you know.
Yeah,
So when you
man.
see in gospel music, like I saw, like a friend of mine was like, imagine Lord You Are Good on drums with no fills, like just pack like that, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
it would not, it would be a bad less, you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I feel you with that because like gospel music, man. I love Marvin Sapp. Don't even get started with Ty Tribbett. It just
Yeah,
gospel
bro.
man's just so good, you know.
It is,
And
man.
and you know, but like I'm gonna put it like CCM has given us that opportunity, like, hey, we all could play it, you know? So
Yeah, man.
it just
Yeah.
feels good, like to any type of musician of any type of level to be able to play that music, you know?
Yes, bro. I agree 100%. And like just like you said, it's accessible to everybody, you know, and and it's graspable. I You know, people could grasp it, you know, and they could play it easily like that. I think that's one of the reasons that CCM is so cool. I think that's one of the reasons that multi-tracks and stems are such a huge deal as
Mm-hmm.
well, you know. Yeah, bro.
And like, you know, I've already been there twice to your guys' studio, which has been a true blessing, man. I told your dad, man, that I told him thank you for opening that space because it feels good just to receive, you know,
Yes,
and
bro.
you know, be able to receive the pouring of the Holy Spirit. And
Yeah, man.
I was just thinking like. you guys are so skilled, man.
Praise
But
God,
yet
bro.
again, you guys play such simple things for people to follow.
Yeah,
And I
man.
find that amazing because I've always learned you serve the music and you serve God and you serve God's people. So
Yeah, bro.
I just love how you guys aim for simplicity all the time.
Hmm.
Like it's just crazy. And I guess I gotta put it like you guys having so much of the talent to like probably overplay everything. You guys
Yeah.
keep it so simple, and that's one of the things that I love about hearing musicians that do that. I guess
Yeah.
I don't know if that's I think you could consider that as a like discipline if I'm not
Hmm.
wrong.
That is a
And
discipline, yeah.
yeah, and I just see it with you guys, and I feel like that's like a real cool blessing because like
Hmm.
it just makes it more engageable. Like you could
Yes,
just
bro.
get in there, and without
Yeah.
it being so complicated.
Yeah.
It's just that's why I see, and I also see it just not in your guys' playing, but you guys are simple people. Like
Yeah, bro.
it just reflects, man, how cool it is, and
Yeah, bro.
and I just love everything you guys are doing there, man.
Praise God, man. And I agree, but I think it's like one of the reasons like we try to go for sometimes we'll spice little things up.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
like my dad's always said like you're there to give God glory, not yourself glory, like when you're playing. Like I could do like extra chords on like how great is our God or like whatever. Like I could do 7-3-6, little five
yeah, yeah,
pass
yeah.
to one pass, whatever. And it's like I could be doing all that, but it's like at the same time, man, like when it comes down to it, at the end of the day, it's all about God. It doesn't really matter like what I'm playing. And of course, like we want to play, and when I say that, it's like, oh, it doesn't matter what I'm playing, like just play whatever. No, that's not what I'm saying. It's like, but you want to give God glory, you want all the attention to go to God. And it's okay to throw in little things every once in a while, and express yourself in that way, with your music and as a player or as a musician. I think it's good. But I think at the end of the day, it's like all the glory should go to God. So I think that's why we keep it most of the time at a certain level, like, okay, let's not do too much right here, because we could, but like, is that serving God or is that serving us? Like that type of
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, yeah. So at the end of the day, it should be always to give God the glory.
Yes, sir,
Always, always,
man.
no matter what we're doing, let Him shine, not us. You know,
Yeah, bro.
uh, we want Him to grow within us and make us less. So it's like, in order to do that, we have to give Him room. In this case, we could say, let the music breathe
Yeah, bro.
for the glory of God to be descended upon that.
I think like overall, like in a nutshell, I think like definitely less is more with music. And I would say, well, of course, like we were saying, it depends on the type of music you're making, right?
Yeah,
Like on
yeah.
the type of genre of music that you're working with. But in general, like we were saying as well, like that's the reason why TCM is so accessible too, because it's like it's easy and it's easy to learn, it's easy to play and it's easy to sing and it's easy to declare those words over your life. I think it's really cool. I think it really is really cool.
Yeah, man. Yeah, and it's just really cool to know that God moves in what's simple.
He
You
does,
know,
bro.
it's just
Yeah.
it's just a beautiful thing. To know that when something's so like you could think it's so insignificant, but God moves in that too. Because God's the God of the big and the small. So when something's really small and it looks like so simple, you know, it's just so cool to know that God moves through that too. So
Yes, sir, bro.
and at the end of the day, you just want to be a blessing. So the more simple it is, the better
Amen, bro.
it gets to people. And it's a cool thing, man. It's a real cool thing.
I agree,
But
bro.
you know, another question I wanted to ask was this. Yeah, like I was trying to think how I was gonna say it, but I think I got it like a way how to say it. But like,
Yeah.
how do you? I guess like if someone approaches you and they ask you like, "Hey, I need to work on this," let's say we could say it's like a piano part or whatever. It could be like a whole entire song, like a track. Like,
Yeah.
how do you I guess implement or help transform the song?
Like, are you saying like if I was gonna make music for them or like if we're like practicing like in church or something
No,
like
I'm
that,
making music. Yeah.
making music?
Uh-huh.
Um, I guess like the way I could help, like I guess like if I was making music for somebody and I was going to like, try to like I guess make it better in a way, if that's like probably like the not the fanciest way to say it. But I would just say like find chords that feel right with the melody that you're singing, and try to find melodies that sound nice, and make sure that the syllables match with like the timing and because like you want to have your lyrics not be too clunky,
And
and you want
what do
to.
you sorry for cutting you off, but like what do
No,
you
you're
mean
good.
by clunky, like with the syllables and stuff like that with the timing?
It's like it's like for example your name is the highest. Your name, like it's all like all it's all like the lyrics and the words they all fit together like in the space, but it's not like adding like extra like too much. Like it's like your name is the highest and it's also the greatest, and we praise your name forever and ever. Like it's not like too clunky. Like it's like each word is like on time and it's like and it hits and it's like it's not too many words. It's not too hard to sing.
Mm.
And it's like I think like even with Spanish music, right? Like when you're
Yeah.
translating it from English
Oh,
to
yeah.
Spanish or vice versa, it's like sometimes you got to be careful not to have like too complicated
Mm-hmm.
of of like words to say, to sing because you want to be able to sing it. And like I'm not a Spanish, I mean, I want to be a better Spanish speaker, but it's like I'm not the best, right? So it's like I want to be able to sing Spanish lyrics that are easy to say, like if someone was going to translate like one of my songs, I would say like I would say like if they could approach it from a way that's like it sounds good, but it's also like not too hard to sing at the same time.
Would you
Like
ever?
you're not rushing to fit in the words. Like you remember like this is a funny example. Do you remember like I just want to be part of your symphony or whatever,
Oh,
right?
yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah,
those like meme versions would be like in in different languages, but the language like you couldn't fit like all the words like together, so it'd be
yeah,
like
yeah.
rushing to catch up. You know what I mean? Like that, yeah.
Like what? And the crazy thing, like not going into that to what you said, like like what would you do if someone like translated your song, man? Like what would you do if someone's like, "Hey, I want to translate in Spanish"?
That'd be great, honestly. I'd be like, bro, go ahead, Let's do it, honestly. That'd be really, really cool.
But like it's crazy because like I just thought about it right now because like some words would probably be changed, huh, to fit in within the timing of the song, right? Am I
Yeah.
mistaken? Yeah.
Yeah, I think for like for Spanish too, it's like excuse me, like if I was translating one of my songs, I also want to capture like the meaning of what the words are saying, but there's always a different way to say things
Yeah,
sometimes,
yeah.
So it's like, okay, let's find the way to say this phrase in a way that's like it fits in a space and it's not as like cumbersome, I guess, and it's not like as hard to speak and to sing, and it fits like within the melody. It's like you can mask and like layer it on top of the English melody and it feels like the syllables are all lining up. It's like it's not like each clap is
Mm.
off. Like each word hits.
And how do you feel with like I mean this question might be really random, but like have you ever played like a whole like Spanish set list?
Oh yeah, bro, definitely all the time. I've had the opportunity to play a lot, a lot more genres and in a lot more situations that are kind of like outside of my normal comfort zone. Not saying that other stuff is uncomfortable. It's different for me. But I've had the opportunity to play with my friends, Stephanie and Enrique Casadilla,
Oh yeah. They're really
and
cool.
and they're really awesome. And their main thing is Spanish music, right?
Uh-huh.
Whether that's like the CCM side, like more like the Averly, like Modillo, or like the more like the
Hmm.
Jubilo medley type of vibes. They actually have something coming out this month on the 25th that I was able to be a part of, and I'm really excited for that to drop.
Oh yeah, I
Uh,
saw that. Yeah, yeah.
and that is kind of more like sometimes like I've done like merengue with them. I've done so many different things like where it's just like an entire Spanish set list, because like the audience we were playing for was like mainly Spanish speakers, or different stuff like that. But it's honestly been really cool, really, really cool.
Did you ever feel yourself struggling with tropical music?
I don't think like I guess like you can say like I had to learn like I don't know if I played like tropical music. I maybe if you're talking about like merengue and
Yeah, yeah.
stuff or like Latin, I definitely had to like learn, But the truth is like I think anybody can really play that. If you're at a, if you, I think if you're at like an intermediate level, you can honestly play like merengue and Latin. There's like other things that people do that's like a little bit more advanced, like people throw in like extra rhythms or like they throw in like extra chords. But I think like on a base level, merengue is not that hard to play. And and what else? Latin is not that hard to play like most of the time. Of course, like my dad and like my cousin Aaron Arceo, they do like they create like these arrangements that are big and awesome for convention, right? And their goal is to be like, okay, like we can like do the same three chords over and over again, or we can like actually add something cool to this, you know? And that's really what they did with like the Jubilo medley and different things that they've done for convention over the years, you know?
And like, excuse me. So I like, oh man, now this. Oh my god, I thought I wouldn't. I gotta ask this question.
Yeah.
How does it feel, man, to be in convention? I always see it on YouTube. It looks so cool, man. Um,
Bro,
but how does it feel like? I mean, how does that feel? Just the atmosphere, like being there.
it's so cool, man. It really is such a blessing. And I remember one of my favorite years that I went. I mean, I've been going all my life because like my dad's always been a part of
Mhm.
it since I was little. Like he was either doing music or if he wasn't doing music, we were still there, you know. And when I why are we here? You know, like I just want to go back home. You know, like we already have church at home. Why are we here? You know, like as a little kid, that's what I thought. And it was just like funny little kid thoughts. But now it's like, oh, this dude, this is awesome. Like all different church, like so many different churches from around the country and even from around the globe too, coming together and just worshiping God, bro. It's just really awesome, man. In one language, two languages, whatever, you know, it doesn't really matter. But it's like the fact that everybody's coming together for one purpose, just to, you know, serve God and you know, worship him is really awesome. And then you get to meet new people too. You get to hang out with your friends, you know, like last year in 2024 it was like my first time like hanging out like real late, you know? Like it's like an inside joke, like lobby ministry where you go to like meet people, like mingle, you know, like if you're single, that's where you go to like look
Yeah.
for a wife or a husband, you know? And bro, I was like out there, bro. I was like, I was out there till like 4 in the morning, bro, like talking with one of my friends, just like we're just having a good conversation about like the church and like music and stuff. And it was honestly a really, really great time, man. It was really awesome. It's fun.
That's cool, man. It's just it's like the whole family just coming together.
Yes, sir, bro. And
That's
it's crazy
cool.
that you say that because like so many of us are like related and like even if it's not like cousins or like family, it's like we're all related, like because like each pastor like knows each other, you know, like we're all like connected in that way. So it's really, really honestly, it's really cool.
And that's like a 3 day event, or
Yes, it's 3 days. It's like Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Last year, I was able to play for our juniors convention.
oh,
That
I
was really
saw that.
fun.
I saw that. I
It was
saw you
really, really
posted that.
fun. It was really fun because you're like there with the kiddies, you know, and like and they're like shouting and praise breaking. I think I was on Oregon. And bro, it was just the funnest time, bro. Especially with like my other bandmates. It was just great. It was really, really awesome.
And they do those on separate days, or like they're all like in just different times during the day.
Well, well, no, actually, like some of the like the junior services are happening at the same time as the main services.
Oh
So it's like
wow.
some of the parents will like drop off their kids over there, you know, and they'll drop them off, and then once the main service is over, they'll come back and get them after, you know. And we'll just be with them and like because they'll get their preaching, they'll get like their altar call, and we'll have like you know music for them. And it's honestly it's a really great time. It's really fun.
Oh, that's cool, man. So it's like the youth, like they have like their own section of what's going on in the main
Yeah,
thing. Oh, that's pretty cool.
yeah, man,
It,
it's really cool.
how long does it last? Or like it's just until like
Well, there's like usually two sessions every day. There's or it's either two or three. Like we have like a morning one, like a little midday one, and we take a break, and then we come back for our nighttime
Mhm.
service, you know. And sometimes we'll be there for like sound checks, like in between or whatever, you know. It's like that for like for that. It's like that for anything. Like if either it's like a junior thing or a camp, you know. Like if you're playing at a camp, it's like okay, you have like your morning services that you could play at, and they have like the little midday service, and then you take a break for like 2 or 3 hours, and you know, you eat dinner, shower, or whatever, and then you get back in there, you know, and you play again the last service.
man, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, man,
Oh
it's
man.
fun.
I did not know they had their own separate
Yeah,
thing. Oh,
the
like
the
what?
kiddies have their own separate like little area. It's really cool. And they get down too, bro. They get down like we do like merengue sometimes, or like they get down even with shout. The kiddies really love the shout, so it's really fun.
You know what's pretty, you know what I find so cool, man, is that there was a time where I thought Shout was disappearing kinda,
Yeah,
but it's really up there.
it is, bro. I think people know that it gets people hyped, you know, because it also like you could think like we have CCM, right? And CCM is great for like
Yeah.
you know certain moments, but there's like certain times where you really want a powerful like move and like something that really urges people and makes people want to dance, you know, and like praise God. And I think there's like definitely there's definitely moments where like CCM is needed, but there's also a moment where you need like a little shout, you need a breakthrough, you know what I mean? And you could have a breakthrough in so many different ways. And I think shout is perfect for certain moments as well.
How did you feel the first time playing Shout?
I remember I was at a youth camp, and this was like my first youth camp I ever played in 2023. I was nervous, bro, because I knew that I was gonna have to play shout, and
Mhm.
my good friend, brother Rudy Virial, he was leading that year, and I know that he's a real spontaneous guy, and he's epic, and he's an amazing singer. And so I was like, shoot, this is kind of a high pressure situation, you know? So I was like, so I remember I really locked in with like learning how to play shout. I still don't think I did the best job, but I think I did an okay job, like learning and getting myself up to a point where I could, make it through a service. And, I learned like my little drives, I learned the walk ups or whatever, and it was really fun. I think having like that camp in my mind, excuse me,
Oh,
having that
dude.
camp in my mind, it was a goal, and I knew that I had to get to a certain place, so it made me want to push to be better, I would say.
Man, oh, dude, because like, man, I have a friend that said when he first started playing Shout, like he played with this brother that was so unspontaneous, like you're explaining right now. But it's
Yeah,
funny because he said when the time came to come, like he really started going in there. Like he was like, I'm not doing that bad, but he lasted more than he thought,
yeah,
and then his hand was really cramping up, dude.
yeah, bro.
And then like, cause I've played shout here and there, like at my church.
Yeah,
And then like it's just the basic patterns kind of easy, but like you do feel like like, well, I don't know, maybe I'm playing wrong. Like
yeah,
I've asked other people and they said they have like, I feel like a certain sensation right here that kind of burns a bit, and I'm just
yes,
like,
bro.
it feels good though. You're like, you're like, okay, we're here, we're tearing it up, we're all good.
We're in there, yeah.
But
I
like
would
it
say,
really burns. Oh my god.
yeah, I would say it's like for me, it's like I think I feel that more when I'm playing merengue because I feel like I'm stretching my hands more, and you're doing like more repetitious things, I would say. And maybe I haven't shouted that hard before, but I feel like shouting doesn't hurt my hands as much as playing merengue does, which is funny.
Really?
Yeah,
Huh.
bro. But I think also what it is too, it also has to depend. It depends on like what kind of keyboard you're using. Is it like a heavyweight keyboard? Is it lighter? Because bro, some of those Yamahas and like some Nords have like really heavy keys to play.
Yeah,
And some
yeah.
different MIDI boards is like, okay, you're really pressing hard to get that sound out, which is not a bad thing. I think, like heavyweight, and that's a whole nother topic in its own, like heavyweight and lightweight, key beds, it could really affect the way you play as well.
Yeah, no, you're
But yeah,
right.
bro.
Now my question is this: so, what type of guy are you? You Nord, Yamaha?
It depends on the situation. I think I've come to really like heavier keyboards in like the church like service context, but like as I'm producing and like as I'm making music right here behind me, it's like I want to have like the freedom to be more flexible with like what I play, and I don't want to feel like I'm limited by like heavier keyboards, and I want to play like because like I think when I'm in church and when I'm like right here behind my desk, it's like I want to like when I'm behind my desk, I want to be free to like have all the ideas come out, and like and free flow with those ideas. But like when I'm in church, I want to be more controlled, like the heavier keys, and be more intentional about the choices that I'm making.
Yeah, it's because like, oh man, there's so many questions I've been wanting to ask you, man. It's like another one is like, why? Okay.
I'm ready.
So all the keyboard players, why do you use Keyscape? Like for live, like because sometimes
Yeah.
I see you have like the Nord there,
Yeah.
and then there's other times I see you have Keyscape. So like, why Keyscape? Like.
I think Keyscape is just easy. I think it's like I think it's probably one of them. Well, I haven't tried too many piano VSTs, but I think that's probably my favorite one that I've tried so far. And it's just really easy and accessible. It's expensive, but once you get it, I think it's like really, really fun to play around with and mess around with. And especially if you have main stage as well, you can, control your little like pads and all your different stuff. And honestly, all you need for a good service is main stage and keyscape, and a nice little MIDI board. And you're basically set, bro. You don't even need like a Nord or anything. Um, but I think sometimes there's some certain effects and sounds that I can't get out of my Nord that I can get out of like MKS, sensation or whatever, or like Keyscape or Omnisphere, and there's like different patches I can't get from my Nord, and it's like I want that in certain moments.
And what do you use on what do you what like what's your go-to on Keyscape?
I usually use like it's like a specific, it's like a bright like grand or something like that because I kind of want my piano to cut through the mix in a nice way, you know. And I also want to be able to hear what I'm playing because you can have like soft pianos on like kind of more calm songs, but
Mhm.
when like the piano is softer,
The
like the low end,
cinematic. Oh man.
like the low end is like it's more soft and it's not like kind of like going through like what you want to hear, and it's not like really breaking that threshold on certain moments. So it's like you just gotta, pick and choose like what works best for each moment, I would say.
Yeah, because I use Keyscape at times, and
Hmm.
like there's this one thing. It's called cinematic, I think.
That one's really
Like,
good.
dude, pastors talking, like just chilling, playing
Yeah.
with that. I feel like it doesn't dull out too much, but it's there.
Yeah, I agree, bro. I remember I used Keyscape for a camp I just played at recently this year called PK Camp. And bro, I used Keyscape the whole week, bro. I kid you not.
Oh, what?
And it was fun, man. That was my first time ever going like or doing a camp with like a VST, not my Nord, like or not like a keyboard. It was really, really cool, man. It was a excuse me. It was a fun time. It was a really fun time.
Yeah, because like a lot of people go like, no, VSTs, no, it's better to use hardware, and I'm just like, I mean, that's what I would see. I remember I would see you on a Nord constantly, so I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, okay, you know. But I'm like, the Nord provides such a limited like, I guess varieties, like not so much, like,
Yeah.
because I don't know which one do you like, because I personally used to use a lot the Royal 3D.
Yeah.
But I started using the white grand because I feel like it cuts a little
Mm.
bit more through the mix, and
Yes, bro.
I like its dissonance a little better when you're doing
Yeah.
bass notes, so you can hear like a slight imperfection in it.
Mm.
But I mean, like, what do you use when you approach a Nord? Like, let's say, like for like kind of a like a up tempo song.
I would say probably like one, like you said, one that cuts through the mix, right? It's like I would usually use either like probably like the Royal Grand or like the White Grand are like my two favorite like piano sounds. Sometimes the Pro Upright depends on the moment, or like this is funny, this is kind of nerdy of me, or like the Bambino Upright, it depends on the
Um,
moment. But I think definitely my favorite Nord piano sound is the White Grand for sure. I think that one just overall it's the best. Except I think the Royal Grand is a close second, but I think it's the White Grand takes the cake for me for sure.
yeah, because the Royal 3D, I think it's more like on the mid type of section, I believe. Like you feel like
Yes.
it's more mid, and then the
Yeah.
white ground's more like on that topper side, like the up
Yeah.
on top. So like, yeah, huh? That's interesting. But like, do you like? But when you record music, do you use patches from the Nord, or you just like straight like stuff from like VSTs?
I would say mostly like, well, for a long time, I never really bought too many VSTs. I just bought like one of my first VSTs like last week on the 4th. And because it was on sale too. But like
Hmm.
up to this moment, I've really been using like all the sounds that are in Logic, bro, which is crazy.
Really?
All the stock sounds are in Logic, bro. That's how I've been making
What?
my music for like almost 2 or 3 years now.
So wait, you use the pianos from there?
Yeah, man, I use the pianos and
What?
all the
Oh
pads and
man,
synths. People really underestimate Logic, bro. Logic
they do. Yeah.
has so many good synths and so many different, well, not so many, but like a good amount that you can really make good music with. And I don't think people should ever cap themselves. I think I'm kind of silly for like taking too long to get more into VSTs, but honestly, having Logic is really all you need. Like, because they already have like so many good instruments on there, and you could tweak them to your liking. You could like mess with them. I really mess with a lot of the synths on there and the different leads or whatever, and kind of make them to like how I would like to hear it. And that's the cool part about having you know the ability to change things and fix them up how you like them.
What? It's because people. Well, I don't know if this sounds bad to say, but like, dude, a lot of people trash talk like the keys on Logic.
Yeah, I would say like I think my music in general is not very like it's not as piano heavy as some songs,
Yeah.
and like I think the piano is not usually the main focus of my music. It's more like the pads and the synths all together, you know. And I think for the sound that I'm using, I think like for me too, like I think I'm not as big of a stickler with piano sounds. It's like as long as it sounds good and it's cutting through the mix in a nice way, like that's fine with me. And but I think recently I just Also because you know what another thing is too is because with the Nord, you can't quantize like your playing, you know? And it's like and it's easier to get like a cleaner sound, I think, from like a VST than like recording like through an interface or something like that, like with your Nord.
Yeah, yeah, that
So
makes
that's
sense.
another reason why I mainly use the the Logic pianos, you know, or like a Keyscape, for example. But then also depends on what you're recording into too, because I think like for a church live stream setting, I think the Nord is way better than the VST for sure. Or
Really?
it sounds
Why would you say
better.
that?
I think because it's just more like of a pure sound, you know? And I think and I think you can use both. I think my personal preference is would to be just to use like the Nord, for example, you know, and like maybe like a pad pedal or like that Big Sky, you know. That's like one of the things I just bought recently. And I think honestly like a Nord or any kind of keyboard, like a Yamaha, a Nord, like you know that little pad pedal, the Atmosphere one, and like a Big
Hmm.
Sky. That's all you need, bro, for a service, honestly. And then of course, I think you could do more, you know, if you don't have an aux player. But I think really like just so you know how we said less is more. I think
Yeah, yeah.
less is more is really just that when it comes down to it. You know, pad, keys, and the rest of the band. You know.
Yeah, it's crazy because like I learned from your dad on this one video that, and I didn't know how effective it was until I tried it, that a drone pad could really glue things in, man.
Yeah, man.
It really
It
does.
really does.
I was
It
that I
fills up
was
the space.
yeah, yeah, 'cause I was that
Yeah.
type of guy that was like, I don't need that. I'm just gonna
Yeah.
use the keyboard. Like I don't need that. Like so, like I would just I went years, man, years without a pad, like
Yeah,
years
bro.
until like I'm like, man, a lot of people are starting to tell me like, do you use software? Do you use
Yeah.
anything? Like I'm like, I don't. Like you know?
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I'm starting to feel like fall behind here. But then I saw
Yeah.
your dad talk about it. He's like, it just the pad, the drone pad, I feel like it gives you more space to like play.
Yeah.
You could do your thing still than having a pad under you. Cause then like when you use a pad from like an altar call pad, for example, like you have
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
be more cautious on how you're moving because if not,
Yeah.
it's gonna clear up.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've done that before where it's just the drone pad, the whole service, and it just goes fine.
Yeah, bro. And honestly, it's really cool because like you said, it fills up the space, you know, and it really allows you to kind of like play over it, you know. I know, like you said, you got to be careful too because like as you're playing chords, like not every note in harmony will match up with like a pad, you know. It'll kind of start to sound a little more dissonant. So I think if as long as you play in like that, I think like for example, like in that major scale, like major pentatonic space, I think you really benefit and sound really awesome. I really think so.
Right? No, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And like, how are your experiences with playing behind preachers?
Oh man, you know, it's fun, bro. I think like it depends on the situation, of course. I've like had moments where I've gotten to play like organ or like some shoddy type of stuff behind preachers, but I think some of my favorite moments are like underscoring like a preacher in like a mellow, you know, kind of more like broken down moment, you
Hmm.
know. Those are my favorite moments to play in. Because then like you could also kind of incorporate like following them, you know, and like kind of like for example, like if his preacher is like talking real quiet, you kind of like I wish I had a piano with me right now, but it's okay. Like you start like you know real quiet and soft and like not as many chords, a little more sparse. But then when they start kind of building up, you go like a little louder. You know, you start adding a little couple more things in. You know, in the right context,
Follow
of
the
course.
dynamic flow. Yeah.
Yeah, follow the dynamics of the speaker, and that could really go a long way. You know.
How do you do it with someone that like, because like, say for example, like you let's say you're already playing for someone you already know, so you already kind of know what's up, right? But like,
Yeah.
what do you do with someone that you have never played for?
I would say just like really be locked into what they're doing, like what the vibes are, you know, like okay, are they going louder? Let me kind of like back them up a little bit. Okay, they're kind of breaking it down. Let me come back down. Because you don't want to stay like on the high the whole time, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
because that would just be distracting. But you want to find the right space to, you know, do what you need to do in certain moments, you know.
So I guess like you try to put your ear out there, huh, to see like
Yeah,
I mean
just really
and see
like
what's going on, right?
yeah, just be locked in with the preacher, you know, like as much as you can. Like it's fine to look at what you're doing, but like also kind of pay attention to what they're doing as well.
So how was your first time playing for a preacher?
I would say like I would always play for my dad every Sunday, you know, and he's like the main preacher that I would play behind him or like my grandpa George, who's a
Hmm.
pastor. and I would play behind them and kind of they were kind of like my introduction and like my master class and like figuring out how to like come down in certain moments, bring it up, kind of come real soft, not too much. And I would say like that was like my first time. And then I would play at like different youth services and stuff. And people get way more excited. So sometimes we do like the big CCM hits like four, boom,
Mhm.
6, 6, 5, like and like be up there with the cymbals and be really energetic with it. But then you kind of bring it back down. It's like, it's really cool.
Yeah, because I bet like it's a big difference between going to something more mellow or something I guess you're more used to something that's like way up there with so much energy, and
Yeah.
it's like a whole different environment. Because
Yes, bro.
I've had friends where like it was funny because this was in 2021 if I'm not mistaken. No, 2022. Like
Yeah.
it was like at the end they invited a preacher to church. Like it
Yeah.
was like it was like two of us at the time, like two keyboard players. A friend came and helped me out, and then I was there with them, whatever. Like we were like, they're sitting, and then someone was like, "Oh, is anyone gonna play for him?" Or I'm like, we both looked at each other because
Yeah.
we're
Just
like,
waiting.
dude,
Yeah.
like how's his vibe, man? Like, because
Yeah.
he wasn't up there
Yeah.
yet. Like, so we were like, so dude, I kid you not. Oh man, I don't know if I'm gonna get in trouble with this. Like, we rock paper scissored to see who would go,
Bro,
and
that's
then
crazy.
yeah, so and then I was like, and then like he was like, I was like, dude, like he got rock, I had scissor, so I was like, all right, I'll go up there, and
That's
then like
funny.
my dad's very energetic when he preaches, like
Yeah.
super. So like a C minor blues scale at times.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so dude, I kid you not, man. I was like, what do I do? What do I do? I'm like, all right. He, because he went up to me and he pat me in the back. He was like, you're a gospel guy. I seen you play. I seen you play with your dad. I'm like, well, I'm not. I wish I was gospel, but okay. And then like, and he's
Yeah.
like, you just do the same thing. You do the same thing. And it was my first time like playing for someone that was not my dad.
Yeah.
You do the same thing. I'm like it felt not sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I guess okay. So I started doing my thing. Oh, dude. He was like, "What are you doing?" Like he would look
Yeah.
back at me. He's like, "Not yet. What are you doing?" And then in front of the congregation, he was like,
Dang,
"Wait,
bro.
we're not getting to that praise break moment yet. Just wait a bit. Wait a bit." I'm like, "Oh man,
That's funny, bro.
oh man,
Yeah.
dude, it was so bad." And then I was like, "What do I do?" I was like,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and then like I was just like, I just like start playing like low, and
Yeah.
then
Yeah. Yeah.
he
Yeah.
was like, "All right, come on!" And I'm like, "Yeah!" Like we started getting in it. Drums were swelling. All right, it's like
Yeah.
go to the minor six. Bah, we're like that. Go to do this.
Yeah.
Bah, we're like that. And then he was like, he knew about music, so when I hit the diminished chord, he looked at me and he was like, "All right, someone's getting a little too happy. Come on now." And he just turned
Ah,
around. I was like,
yeah.
"Oh man."
That's funny, bro.
Oh, like, and I learned with that, it's just best to first approach and
Yeah.
just hear it. Like, all
Yeah,
right,
bro.
like you said, like try to lock in first. So
Yeah.
like you're just looking, you're kind of scoping. I guess you could use that word, and
Yeah.
then you're
Scoping
like,
out the vibe.
all
Yeah.
right, let's see what's up. All right, because I just went in there full force. Like I
Yeah,
was like,
bro.
because he told me he's like, do like how you do for your dad. I'm like, is that like a trick thing or like I was just so
Yeah.
nervous, dude. But oh man, that was so bad, man.
That's funny,
Oh
bro.
man. So like I don't know if you ever had like an experience like that or something, kind of like you think you're going the right way, but you ended up going west and then
Well, there was one
oh
time
man.
I remember I was playing for he was the president of our district at the time. And he asked me or like someone had told me like, okay, dude, go play now. And I went up there, right? And I started playing behind him kind of softly. He's like, oh, like no, not yet, right? Not yet. And I was like, oh shoot, okay. So I just went back a little bit, went back for a little bit. And then someone told me again, like he's ready. And I was like, okay, sweet. And so I went up, but he still wasn't ready. So he was like, oh, like no, not yet. So it happened like twice. And
Oh
like I wasn't
man.
playing like really loud, but it was kind
Yeah,
of still
yeah,
like
yeah.
I wasn't supposed to go up yet. And that was kind of funny. But I think the third time it was like he was good to go. And like I think what they wanted was like all the band to go up at the same time.
Oh.
But
You,
it was really
you,
cool. It was well, it wasn't like too bad, but it was kind of awkward, like because I kind of had to like walk back. But it was
dude,
funny.
at least it wasn't like me. Oh man.
That's crazy, bro.
Oh man, because I play right behind the person, so he would have to legitly like turn around all the way.
That's devious.
And he was like, I was like, oh
Yeah,
man, it was
that's
bad,
funny.
man. Oh man, but it just makes me think about like how it's so crazy that we're as keyboard players or any type of musician, like you're used to like inspire the moment, and you
Yeah,
could actually be a buzzkill. That's the crazy part. That's like
it
one
is,
of the things
bro.
I get worried about as
Yeah,
when as you're playing. Like, man, is this a something? Ask my dad doesn't know anything about music, man, but like I tell him like, did that fit okay? Like sometimes I'm asking him, and he's like, yeah, 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 because he's told me like that was a little too much. Like he tells me,
yeah,
but I tell him like, let's say we're like altar call, so like I'm playing softly, whatever. And I even tell him like, was that? Yeah, yeah, it's cool, it's cool. Because I've had other people like I play for other people like I'm like they tell me like there was this one brother he played keys
hmm
and real young dude. He's you did great, brother. Thank you. He's like just one thing I wanted to tell you though. Personally for me, he was like that because he came back again. So the
yeah,
second time he was like, oh, you did great last time. It's just I need you to kind of hold this off a bit. Like he told me
yeah,
like I don't remember what it was exactly, but like he just told me I need you to hold it off. And I was
yeah,
like, oh, okay. But I feel like that also helps you grow.
yeah. I agree. I think like having good constructive criticism is really a blessing, you know. And I think you just really got to be spirit led when you're playing behind somebody. You know, you really got to
Mm-hmm.
let the spirit lead you, and like just be, have discernment for the moment. You know, like just really pay attention to what the vibes are. You know, how everybody's looking in the crowd, how the pastor's going. You know, how the speaker or preacher is going. And I think if you, as long as you do that, as you're spirit led and just pay attention, I think you could honestly do really good. You know, and also like whatever the pastor was requesting, like try to accommodate that as best as possible. You know,
Yeah, yeah. Because at the
because
end of the
sometimes
day,
like
no.
yeah, and I'll just say because sometimes it's
Hmm.
like there's been a couple moments like at different services where the pastor was like, okay, like at a certain point I'm gonna go into shout, so help back me up a little bit, you know. Like they would like ask for a specific thing, or I'm gonna go into like a merengue type of vibe, you know. So like instead of doing like major chords, they do like the minor three and the
Hmm.
minor six or whatever, you know, and like go back and forth between that. And eventually we'd start the track and everybody would get back to, you know, the music and stuff.
Ugh, man, it's just like there's so much caution, man. Like you have to be
Yeah,
so cautious. Oh my, oh man. But it's just crazy. Like at the end of the day, you just have to lock in, like you said. Like that's how I like how you put it. Like you just really have to discern what's going on and be locked
yeah,
in.
yes,
As long as
bro.
you're locked in, you'll be fine. Like,
Yes,
be precautious, take your steps, like watch out what's going on, make sure
yeah.
you're not overstepping and it plays out fine. But yeah, it's just funny, man, because do you know Jamal Hartwell?
I don't think so, no.
He has a thing called gospel musicians. I don't know if you ever heard about him.
I
Pretty
don't think I
crazy,
have. I'll
crazy
have to check it out
keyboard
though.
player. Yeah, yeah. He plays a lot of this genre called neo soul.
Mm, yeah,
So it's funny because like he gives like this little like I don't know like I guess you could put it like testimony I guess or whatever like he's sharing experience
yeah,
and he goes like like he was playing organ
yeah,
and like about like seven like musicians were there that they all played organ so like
yeah,
they were all there and then like this sister was gonna pass up and preach and like we never played for her and like they were all like oh man so like they just threw him in there they were just like okay you
yeah,
go take it in like oh damn right and
yeah, yeah,
he said that he was very cautious that he would watch her movement see how she would do like if she was raising her voice speaking
yeah, yeah,
lower so but the thing is he said that he didn't play at first like he was just
hmm.
like kind of like sinking in and then when he started playing she actually turned around and said you're doing a great job
That's awesome.
so like I
Yeah,
feel like it's just very like you said like one be led by the spirit. So
yeah,
being the same spirit in what you're doing
yeah,
and then also just try to sink in as much as you can because it's funny because a lot of people think like I get it like I like something you said on Instagram. I want to be spiritual but not mystical.
yeah. You know what I
I
mean?
I, re- I really like that.
Yeah. I think it's like well when I said that, it was like because some people are very, people are spiritual, they're in tune with God, but then some people are just kind of like they act real spiritual, and they try to be like mysterious and like mystical or whatever. Like and you could tell like when people are genuinely like they love God, and some people they love God, but they're also kind of looking for more of like I don't want to say clout, but like they're kind of just acting a certain way to get people's attention, like and using God's spirit as like a ruse or like a I guess as a front.
Yeah. It's because like it's funny because like when I saw it, it made me think about like how a lot of people go like, you need to be led by the spirit, but sometimes it's also I guess there's times where like how can I put it, you're not always gonna be like in that mode because you know we're
Yeah.
human. So
Yeah.
like you always have to also think like about like actions and certain things you see and do to
Yeah.
incorporate it to see what's going on, you know. So
Definitely, bro.
it's just crazy, man. It's a crazy musical world out there.
It really is, bro. It's crazy.
Man, but I appreciate you, man. Thanks for being on the podcast, man. I'm humbled because even though, 'cause people could be like, he's younger than you would think. I see you like here, and
Yeah.
I'm probably like right here.
Bro, stop. You're the
I'm
beast, bro.
honestly,
You're
man.
awesome, man.
It's just you're an inspiration to many people, man, and just
Praise God,
I
bro.
pray that God keeps using you, man, with new music coming up, right?
Yep,
And
this month.
this see that so we're all gonna be waiting, but it's just dude, I'm thankful for your life. You're an
Praise God, man.
inspiration to see. Seeing you do your thing, seeing you serve God is very inspirational, especially you being so young. I like how you see, because some people do see their age as a limitation, but you don't. You
Yeah.
just go for it.
Yeah.
Because dude, we're just trying to do our thing for God and what God's putting
Yeah,
in us.
man.
We're trying to do everything. And I don't know,
Definitely, bro.
with we only got less than a minute now. I don't know if you could just say some words, man, before we close.
Sure. Well, I just want to say, bro, thank you for having me on here, man. I really enjoyed this talk. I think it was very good and very educational. I hope that it blesses somebody, whoever's listening to it. I hope it blesses you guys wherever you're listening to it. And I hope you guys continue listening to this podcast as well. I think it's really awesome what you're doing, my bro. Um, bro, just keep doing what you're doing, man. I think this is really awesome.
Yeah, there was difficulties on Zoom, but God's good, man. We were able to pull it through. Hey, man, I appreciate those words, and God bless you for being on this podcast, bro. It was a true blessing. Yes, educational. We also discussed so many topics, man, and I appreciate you taking time out of your schedule, man, just to be on Uncion and just chat up with us. And God bless you, my bro. As I said in the beginning, follow my guy on Instagram. Yes, he's gonna be having new music out soon. And if you haven't heard his latest stuff, like Church Kid, give it a listen. We're gonna put it down the link below. God bless you all. Dios vos bendiga rica y abundantemente.